Hey, good evening, listeners to TDN Radio and viewers, as well as to this week in interview. Welcome. It's Wednesday night and it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. And at this time on a Wednesday, we do it this week in interview, which I always say to you most weeks that's the highlight of my week because I get to spend an hour or so of time with you. And I appreciate you, my regular listeners and viewers, coming on every Wednesday, making me part of your schedule. And I appreciate that very much. And welcome to you as well. If tonight is the first time that you're joining us on this week in interview, it's a pleasure to have you. My objective is to make sure you have sufficiently a good time that you will come back, and eventually I can welcome you in the group of my regular listeners. If you're listening on the Nature Isle, good evening to you, special good evening to you. DG Play Channel 59, our affiliate station RVR Jams carries this week in interview live on DG Play Channel 59. So good evening to you, and thank you to the management of RVR Jams. Also, online radio SBE in Toronto. It's a radio station that targets primarily the Haitian population in Toronto. That they listen to this speaking interview live as well. So welcome to you. And no matter where you're listening from, we have folks who are listening from Grenada and St. Vincent and Trinidad. Trinidad is going to be special tonight. We featuring steel band music, which had its genesis in Trinidad and Tobago. So welcome. We have folks in the UK, over wherever you're listening to. I want to tell you, welcome to you, and I want to invite you to share the link. We have an exciting program tonight, and so I want you to share the link with your friends. Invite 5 people to join you, and let's make this a special occasion. We always bring you contemporary information from a different point of view, different perspective. If what we do here, you can find it by clicking your mouse or browsing the internet, going on cable TV, then there's no need for us. It would just be redundant. But I like to think that we bring it from a different perspective, a different lens. So tonight, what's on tap tonight? So, you hear certain cynical people, whether it's cynicism or jealousy, that says that the youth is wasted on the young. And those are people like me who probably, by the time we realize what we should do with life, we older, so we don't have the same flexibility and spring in our step to execute. And so we sit by like a sour grapes and say, look at these young people wasting their youth. But tonight is not about that. The United Nations is recognizing August 12th as International Youth Day. And so tonight's program is centered around that and recognizing that we have young people who are doing positive things. We were all young and we enjoyed ourselves, but we still managed to do positive things. And there is a myriad of activities that they get involved with. There's a myriad of achievements that they accomplish. But tonight we're going to focus on two areas, on music, specifically steel band music, and we're going to also focus on athletics. And so my guests tonight are from the group Pan in Harmony, who is a steel band group in Dominica. Um, and they're going to talk to us about what they're doing with young folks, including what they're doing with collaboration with certain other folks that they call the Steel Band Initiative. We have Jackie Andre and Andrea Lee from Pan in Harmony that's going to be joining us and talking about that. And then we have Coach Harris, Cedric Harris. Um, if you're from Dominica and you know anything about sports and athletics, you know Cedric Harris is a long distance superstar. And now he is the coach. He's the founder and coach of the Pioneers Athletics Club, one of the premier athletics clubs in Dominica. He is a phys ed teacher at Goodwill Secondary School, among other things. So those are the folks that we have on hand. And I have a special treat for you when we take a commercial break. So when we take the break, if you have to use a bathroom, run quick and come back, because when you come back from the break, I have a special treat for you at that time. So without taking too much of the hour, I want to bring my guests up on screen. Bring all of them up, so and I'll just tell you who they are, and we will make the round and let them do a little bit of a deeper, further introduction of who they are. There's one person missing so far, Miss. But let's start with who is here. We have Miss Jackie Andre. Jackie is the founder and manager of Pan in Harmony. And she's here wearing that hat with us tonight. We also have, as I said, Coach Cedric Harris. And we have John Kerry, I hope I say it correct, John Kerry Duke, who is going to be part of the treat that I promised you at the bottom of the hour. So, Jackie, I'm going to start with you. For whatever reason, the producer popped your photo first, so you won the lottery. Um, very warm welcome to you on this weekend interview. I am going to give you the opportunity to tell the viewers and listeners a little bit more about who you are and your involvement with pan music.
Hi, good evening. I am Jackie Andre, a former pan player myself. I am managing the Pan and Harmony steel band, a steel band that was born after the passing of my dad, who was a tuner, arranger, and we did a kind of tribute concert for him. And at the time, I was also working with a band called Breezy Steel Band. It was a group of young um, school children that my dad and I worked with. And when my dad passed, when we did this tribute, there were two other bands that were not functional at the time, and so after the concert, we decided to come together and sit together. And it's been 9 years. Next year is our 10th anniversary.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm just happy to be working with them. And I hope that that even after I will at some point in time pass on the baton to the younger one who can kind of continue what I am doing, but I'm not doing it alone. I have a team within the group of really creative and talented youngsters. I call them youngsters because they're still young. And
Compared to us,
yes,
right?
yes, compared to us. But I will tell you all about them during
As
the
we go
course of the
along. My
conversation.
goodness.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's really a pleasure. Coach Cedric, Coach Harris, um, can you tell the viewers and listeners who you are and a brief synopsis of what you do? We'll get into the details as we go along, but just give them an idea of who Cedric Harris. Your mic is muted, Cedric.
Testing one, two.
There
I'm
you go.
on.
We can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
loud and clear.
My name is Cedric Harris, from originally from Goodwill, Solomon Lane. I I'm a teacher by profession, physical education teacher. I'm also one of Dominica's first Olympians. I competed in '96 at the Atlanta Games, representing us there, and then returned home after studying in the United States on athletic scholarship. At that time, '96, I started the Pioneers Athletics Club because I saw a need for a venue to kind of nurture a lot of young talent that we had on island. And since then, I've been working along with young persons in that area of athletics, giving them exposure on the regional scene, and with a team of other members that I will mention a little later in the conversation.
Welcome, Cedric. It's a pleasure to have you. Um,
Thank you.
Miss Louis, Andrea Louis, a very
Hi,
warm
good
welcome to
evening.
you to this weekend interview.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
Good evening to you. Let's tell the audience who Andrea is and your involvement with PAN. Just we'll go into details, but a brief intro.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening to the host and to the guests and to all those who are viewing and listening. My name is Andrea Louis. I'm a member of Pan in Harmony. I've been with them since the first concert, which was 9 years ago. And I enjoy playing Pan and teaching Pan and, of course, just performing for the people to see and fall in love with Pan as I have. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. 9 years, huh? Next year we're going to do a big spread for the 10th
Oh, we're
anniversary.
hoping, we're hoping.
That's awesome. And of course, with us we have John Kerry Duke. Um, Mr. Duke, give us an introduction who you are, uh, and what and your involvement with fan music.
Hello, good evening. My name is John Kerry Duke. I am from, of course, Guyana, Guyanese descent. I play for the National Band of Guyana. I have almost 2 decades of experience with the band. I arrange, teach, the whole nine. And I'm very blessed to be here and very thankful to be here and grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. And the whole theme of this conversation we have tonight is centered around the fact that August 12th is International Youth Day. And so it's really good to have, and I'm not calling anybody else on the panel old, so don't come at me. But it's really good to also have a young person, a youth, represented as well. Uh, Jackie, I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to go around to everybody, and just talk about the importance of the interaction with the young people um, in with music and with fan and so on, and the experiences that you've had over the years, the impact that it has on them.
Well, the thing is, still pan kind of not only, I mean, it's not only the, as we say, a musical instrument, but it also brings a group of people together. And from that, when you play together, you build that sort of family, that bond. And music helps a lot. I found with the kids who are playing music, they are, once they start at an early age, they're very disciplined, and they focus. And what we're seeing is that a lot of them who've done music and played in a group, they their behavior is a lot better. They know how to what you say to socialize, because I mean you can't play alone. I mean the steel band is it's not a single instrument where you can be a single tenor player, but when you play within a group, it sort of real that kind of bond. Um, my experience with the young ones is that what I find is, before I speak because I started to play pan when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and with my siblings and the neighbors. I found that we had more time to practice and to do things. Um, I find what I find the young people now, they have so much distraction that it's they don't have sufficient time to dedicate to to focus on one thing. I don't know if I'm gonna be clear, but they to practice hours, they have so many, their schedule is so they involve in so many other things that they practice hours very limited. And so it's not like the days before when we played, that every summer we practiced together. And and um and so we created that kind of, we had a better a larger repertoire. We did more stuff. But uh these kids too, on the other hand, these kids are brilliant kids, those coming up. Some of them, they're really talented in the sense that we have a lot of them who have musical abilities that we should probably um, try to help them to develop their skills, and that's what we're doing. And I say this because there is one very good example of someone who was probably wasn't the best student at school, but he from an early age he learned the pan on his own, and he moved into the group in one of the groups, and now he's arranging, he plays, he's one of the best tenor players, he's one of the best panists, and he's actually on a cruise ship, kind of playing pan for everyone. And I think the although the experiences are different, but I think we need to kind of guide them along, and that's what we've been doing. So we've been going to schools in recent times because we felt that in order for the pan to survive on
Mhm.
Dominica, we need to get into the schools because
Right.
we've tried to build on groups, and a few groups have come and gone. But guess what? They've moved on. They've gone overseas. But we have not started in the school system, and probably through the primary school system, leading up to secondary school system, where they can eventually move into the community bands. We've not had many community bands because of that. And so this is where Pan in Harmony and the Pan Initiative have really tried to kind of come together to 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 bring to have this pan going. Um, the I maybe let's
Yeah.
talk to yeah.
So yeah, we get it. We get what you're saying, that the challenges are different, but they're also opportunities.
Yes,
Probably because the kids get introduced to gadgets earlier, the
yes,
dexterity and the
yeah,
hand coordination is probably enhanced,
yes.
which makes up for the lack of time that's available for practice. And there are more distractions.
And the
Uh,
attention span is kind of, I find the attention span sometimes very short. Whereas
very short, much
yeah,
shorter.
whereas we learned another thing too, we learned by ear most of the
Hmm.
time. So you would learn over and over. They don't. I don't think they have that stamina to do
Hmm.
that. But the good thing now is that they're learning, and that's very good. They're learning to play with the music sheet. And
In the music
so
sheet.
if once you can read music, and that's the one good thing about the some of the young people coming up, that they're able to play. They can play anywhere, so they can play if they move to Trinidad, to any part. Once you have a score, then they're able to play the music. And this is what we would also like to keep and introduce into all the schools once we start the steel band within the schools, because it takes a long time if you have to listen by ear. Just
Listen
take,
by
for
ear.
instance, when you go to Trinidad and you do a panorama, you go over and over and over and over the notes, because there's no music for them. But if they have the music in front of them, then they're able to read it and to perform a lot better.
Awesome. Andrea, I'm going to go to you. Jackie mentioned the PAN initiative. And I know that is a program that Pan in Harmony is very involved with. So I wanted to talk about that initiative. What is it, and what the goals, objectives, and all that are.
The Still Pan Initiative is actually a group of Dominicans based overseas who have joined with us, Pan in Harmony, and Dominicans here on the island to promote pan music throughout the country, but we want to start with the schools, then expand towards the community. So you have community bands, not just school bands, and eventually want to see things happen. Whereas there are national steel band festivals and even panorama junior and senior level, we want to get people on board and we want to get people involved. So we have to start small, as with all great things. So we are starting small. We visited a couple of schools, actually 4 schools last year, and the plan is to raise funds so that we can get them a set of plans so they can start in the school and they can keep with it and eventually have community bands. So then those who live in the community, the adults who don't attend the primary school but they live in the area, then they can have a band that they can go into. So we will have pan throughout the community at all levels, the children, the not so young, the older ones, the not so old, and just get everybody involved. So that is what we, as the Pan Initiative, we hope to do. The initiative in collaboration with Pan in Harmony is just to get Pan out there, educate people on Pan, the importance of it, what it means to our culture, why it's important to preserve it and promote it, and just keep it going throughout the youth. That's what we plan to do.
Awesome. A really important aspect. As Jackie said, um, get to them young so that
Exactly.
they can learn it from it. It grows up in them, and hopefully, eventually, you will have um, people who are still have years of playing pan under their belt. They graduate from school
Mhm.
and they go into the community with that itch. They want to continue to play, and therefore you get community bands
And the other
developing
thing,
out
sorry.
of that. Go ahead.
As you mentioned, young people, I was just going to say that when I guess we were growing up, you had the stalwarts like you had the late Mr. Eddie Andre, you had Ati Mate, Pancho, and all the others, but then they were already grown men, adults teaching
Hmm.
younger ones band. And now that some of them are not here with us or can't teach us, it's now for the young ones to teach and to keep the traditions going. Because back in the day, quote unquote, you knew Mr. Andre for sure, Mr. Mate, Pancho, and so
Hmm.
on and so forth. But
Hmm.
now that they can't help us as they used to, it's on the younger ones to keep it going. And it's because of what they did when they were grown men and, even in their senior years, because of what they did with the young ones, we have now grown up and we can teach the other ones. So it keeps going.
Right. And so, Andrea, I know you said that you are with us for only the first half of the program,
More or
and
less.
so you might not be with us after the commercial break.
Okay.
So Cedric, if you will indulge me a little bit, I'm going to stay with the pan just a little bit longer, and to say two things. One is that Pan in Harmony got special recognition at the recent um, Golden
Golden
Drum
Drum Awards
Awards
ceremony. Yes.
ceremony. So congratulations to you, Jackie, and all the members of Pan in Harmony.
Thank you
Great
so
achievement.
much. Mhm.
It's good to be recognized for the good work that you do. We appreciate it. And two, the 11th of August, tomorrow actually, has been declared by the United Nations
Is it
as
really?
world.
The
It's
11th
not
is
tomorrow.
Friday. My
It's 2 days,
apologies.
right?
Yes.
Friday.
You're
Sorry,
anxious.
my
You
bad.
see that shows your love for pan music. You're anxious for the day to arrive before it's even due to arrive.
Yes, yes. 11th is
Friday.
International World
Hmm.
Steel Pan Day. So
Yes.
congratulations to all pan lovers and you guys on that auspicious recognition, because every 11th of August going forward is going to be World Pan Day. So I'm going to come back to both of you to speak about those two things quickly. We take the break. When we come back, Cedric, you will bear with us a little bit because I
No
haven't got
no
full
problem.
display on this.
No problem.
Okay, so
Yep.
so Andreas, I'm going to stick with you, and then I'll go with Jackie. What does it mean to you as a pianist and someone who is so involved in advancing and developing pan music in Dominica to see that it is being recognized on the world stage, and actually there's a day that has been put aside to recognize steel pan music.
First and foremost, Cedric, thank you so much for your patience. We appreciate it. We thank you for your tolerance, and we know you love the culture. And we thank you for giving us, more time for the time being on this show. Secondly, it is amazing to be recognized. And the thing is, you don't do this thinking people are watching or paying attention or thinking, hey, let me recognize this group. You do it because you just love pan, you understand the importance, and you want to keep it going. You don't do it thinking, oh, if I stick with it for 5 years, I get recognized. That is not the intention at all. It's just, I love pan, it's important. I want people to recognize and love pan as well. So that's the comment on the recognition, special recognition award. On the announcement of the United Nations, it is amazing. I know that some have been pushing for a World Steel Pan Day for a while. So I'm happy that the UN declared the 11th of August as World Steel Pan Day. It means a lot because steel pan is, it's a Caribbean instrument. We as Caribbean people love the steel pan. And in true fashion, when something is good, people borrow it. So you have these amazing steel orchestras in Japan, in the United States, in South America, all over the world, literally, because they recognize what an amazing instrument the steel pan is. Just in 2020, actually, we had done this project where we had so many steel band players and steel orchestras joining the virtual project where we got to play a medley and we got to display it for everybody to see. We have people from literally all over the world. And that's to show you the importance and the influence of steel pan. So the United Nations recognizing 11 or declaring rather 11th August as World Steel Pan Day means a lot to steel pan players in Dominica, across the Caribbean and the entire world. It just reinforces the knowledge that pan is important and people should be aware of it, is significant to the Caribbean people, and just its place in the world as a musical instrument of such versatility. People associate it with carnival and jump up and boom boom time, but it can play any genre of music. At our concert last month, people were surprised we could play classical pieces, but those were the most enjoyed pieces because it came as a surprise to the audience. But that's to show you the versatility of the steel pan and the fact that we should keep it going and we should keep it among our youth and generations to come.
Yes, for sure. And Jackie, you know, I I can just imagine how special it is to you growing up in a home with a dad who, it almost seems like maybe still pan. I don't know how many kids he had. Maybe right after his last kid, still pan was his next love, or maybe sometimes it felt like still pan was his first love. But to finally see the music that he devoted so much of his time and effort to, finally making it around the world and being given its own special day. What did it feel like to you when you heard that announcement?
I too. I'm very elated by that news, because if you know the history of steel pan, you know what it meant for some people. It was probably seen as from the lower class. Now, what is happening? More and more people are beginning to appreciate pan, and I think by making this day a special day every year, it will get to exhibit what the steel band has been doing and what it can do for the if I mean for the young and even the old, because you have some older folks who are interested in steel pan music, and it will help the pan builders, the tuners, and the others who create those sort of instruments and music to to celebrate on that day. It's a special, it's like your birthday, and so every year you come out and you do probably it's an opportunity to do something new. And for me, as you rightly said, I was born into a pan home. Every day I had a pan yard in my home, in my at my home. That's where I learned to play pan. My siblings, my daughter, and all my most of the people in my neighborhood at the time when we were growing up as kids. In fact, we were some of the youngest. We were the first set of kids who started to play. So I'm really happy for that. I just wish my father was alive to see, to see where this has, that today we are devoting a special day. And I'm sure everyone in Trinidad and even Antigua, because they claim to be the one of the first for the pans, they must be celebrating. And we must all celebrate together and probably try to have in throughout the the different communities, different places, activities to commemorate that day. This is how I feel.
That is very touching. Um, and as you said, is the rise of fans because it started grassroots. And even if it has gone around the world, we've managed to keep it grassroots, I think. And so it means it's the music of the people, whereas there's so many other genres of music that maybe came from the aristocrats and eventually sipped itself into the community. Pan music started with the community and grew itself outwards. There is a documentary that I looked at that connected Pan to African roots and origins. I guess that's probably a different story. But folks, it's 8:32. It's a good time to take a break. I have Coach Cedric Harris with me, and we're going to be talking about athletics when we come back. We have conversation about fans still, but I have to give Cedric his due time. But tonight we're recognizing the marking of International Youth Day, which is on the 12th of August. And interspersed in that is August 11th as World Steel Fan Day. And so we're talking youth, but we're talking athletics and we're talking music, steel fan music. We have a young person who's going to entertain us with a special musical production. I hope Andrea can stay a few minutes after the break to hear that before she disappears. So let me take the break right now to make sure that happens. Let's go to a quick commercial break, get some words from the sponsor. When you come back, Duke, it's going to be your turn, and then we're going to jump to Cedric and talk about athletics. Stay tuned, listeners.
Presented by
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
If you live in Canada, the US, and the UK and are looking for Dominica products including cocoa sticks, bay rum, coffee, soaps, crafts, and other popular Dominica items, then look no further. You can now shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, a secure, easy-to-navigate website selling a wide variety of Dominica-made and Dominica-inspired products. When you shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, you are helping to grow Dominica's economy. Go to BuyDominicaOnline.com and enjoy home away from home.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com, or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
Welcome back, listeners, and thank you for staying with us through the break. I want to say, this conversation is going tremendous. We've been talking about International Youth Day. We've been talking about World Steel Pan Day. And so we put the two together, and we're dealing with two aspects of involvement of young people where we are getting tremendous results and responses. My guest tonight on the program is Ms. Jackie Andre and Miss Andrea Louis of Pan in Harmony, Coach Cedric Harris of Pioneers Athletics Club, and we have a young steel band player, Mr. John Kerry Duke, who is of Guyanese descent, and he's a member of the Guyana National Steel Band. And he's going to do something very special for us right now. Mr. Duke, John Kerry Duke, is going to do a special production for us on his steel pan. So let's give him a round of applause and welcome him to the mic, John Kerry.
Hello, good evening again.
Good evening again, yeah.
My name is John Kerry Duke, and I'm in my studio right now. I'm an audio engineer in Brooklyn, New York, and I have a song to play for you guys. Tell me if I'm too loud or if I'm not too loud. Just let me know. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, I'm a layperson with my ears. I was completely entertained. Thank you for that so much, John Kerry. I'm tempted to go to the pianist and get their reaction, but I cannot leave Cedric waiting for this much longer. So Cedric, I'm going to come to you. John Kerry, we'll swing back and get responses. Andre is applauding, so is Jackie. Cedric, thank you for waiting, man. Athletics, young people, discipline. Where do we begin? But first of all, I want to thank you for all you have done for the in the field of athletics in Dominica, and congratulate you on your achievement. You're one of the first
Yeah.
Dominican Olympians, and you still have the Pioneers Athletics Club going on strong. So Cedric, what is the state of athletics in Dominica? What are the vibes that you're getting from the young people that you work with on a daily basis in terms of athletics?
Yeah, well, good evening again. Athletics is on a slow rise in Dominica.
Hmm.
A lot of challenges. As you say that, I can recall when I was in athletics during my time, the amount of opportunities that there is now, there was not that back then. But back then, we were more committed and dedicated towards training. So, as
Mm.
you said, the number of challenges again falls back on a lot of devices that are now being is in the hands of the youngsters and other things that they really they can be doing out there. So I think, I mean, well, from my point of view as an athletic coach, I try to make it fun, and also give incentives to the young people. And by just doing that, we can, I mean, keep our numbers up, and with the help of my executive and other coaches, we are doing quite a good job in keeping our athletes motivated and focused.
So are there major athletic meets? What are some of the major athletic events that take place in Dominica and maybe
Um,
regionally as well?
well, just recently as we speak,
Hmm.
Dominica participated in the Windward Islands School Games, which was held in Grenada. Since 2020, it was been on a hold because of the COVID
Hmm.
19, but it came back this year, and I feel I was part of that in spirit, so let's put it that way, because in terms of the development of the team, I coach a
Hmm.
number of the athletes who represented Dominica at those games. Fortunately, I did not make the team. I did not make the trip. Sorry, it was
Hmm.
circumstances beyond my control. But
Right.
the team did fairly well. I mean, overall, Dominica came second in that
Wow.
competition.
Hmm.
Combined again, it's not only athletics. It's athletics, football, volleyball, netball,
Also, it's
basketball.
games. Okay.
So
Okay.
there's a five discipline, but then we have a set number. So all
Hmm.
teams, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Grenada, there's a cap of 62 athletes total. So
Wow.
within that, you have to make up your athletics, your track team, your basketball team, your volleyball team, football team. And again, we have the boys and girls playing basketball and volleyball, whereas the girls was only doing with the netball alone, and then the track and field, there's a combination of boys and
Was
girls.
mixed as
But
well.
that was just recently in terms of, again, we're an original scene. For Pioneers Athletics Club, I
Hmm.
have also, for a number of years, I have been creating avenues for our team members to get exposed on the regional scene. So what I have done, because of my, again, involvement in the sport for all that time, I have made up friends in the region, Martinique, Mosso, Guadeloupe. And because of the close proximity, I kind of utilize the express the express boat and give the
Hmm.
athletes some exposure. And that is, I think, is one of the main ingredients in I keeping my team motivated. Beyond that, we also have award ceremony within the club. So at the end of the year, we recognize our members internally. So that in itself again is other carrot. So the athletes are actually trying to keep themselves motivated, keep their performance level up, and at the same time know that their club is going to recognize them. In
So
terms of
there's not a
funds,
national athletics meet.
yes, there's a national athletic meet.
Mhm.
This year it was held in it just happened. Was it on the second or 3rd of July?
Mhm.
No, no, no. I don't know Mexico, but it just recently it happened. It
Right,
was held in Portsmouth in at the Benjamin Park.
right.
Again, that is a necessity. Is a grind. It's required by the athletic association to have a national championship in order for them to maintain their status with world athletics. So
Okay,
that's a must. So
okay.
we had the national meets. As you know, well, one of the challenges that we face here is proper training surfaces. We
Mhm.
really don't have a track per se, and training
When you say
has to
you
be
don't
done.
have a track, there's not like a state of state of the art is such a general word. There is not like a decent track where athletes can run on,
Well,
rubberized or whatever.
no, no. At the moment, no. We don't have one of those. Um, and there have been promises that something is in the works. So
Okay.
hopefully soon something might pop up. But as of now, we are still doing the unconventional. I mean, hand timing and athletes
Oh
still
wow.
running with grass. And but again, I mean, as I always tell individuals, if you have a good coach, no matter what the condition is, you can, I mean, make things work in your best interest. It's all about
Let me let
knowledge.
me let me ask
Yes.
you, Cedric, in the recent games, both national and the regional and the Greenwood Island one, but are there any out standout athletes, say that won special medals or
Yeah,
were
well,
there any
Dominica,
standout?
to my collection, Dominica got a gold medal in the
Hmm.
800 meters
Wow.
for boys.
Hmm.
I think that was the only gold medal we
We
got in.
got okay. Hmm.
We got on that, but number of silver medals, silvers, bronze. I mean, in relays.
So who do you
Uh,
remember the name of the athlete that got that gold medal?
yes, yes. His name is Neo Davis,
Neil
and he
Davis.
hailed from.
Congratulations, Mr.
He's a
Davis.
Kalinago. He's a Kalinago young man.
Next to Castlebrist, no, we're strong over on the east side,
Yes, but I also wanted to highlight again. I mean, one of my own, Cherista Duran.
Hmm.
She came second in the female 800 meters. Really was the favorite
Wow.
to have won that event. But
Hmm.
again, two challenges that the athletes met in going into Grenada, whereas they traveled the same day that they competed. So from the
Hmm.
airport, they went straight to the track. And
Congratulations,
I
Miss
personally
Dura,
felt
by the
that
way.
that was a disadvantage for our youngsters being coming from the plane right on onto a track. But
Wow.
they gave it their all. I can tell you they gave it their all. But I felt that if with 24 hours cushion in time, if they were there, I would think much better performances would have come out of each and every one of
Of
the
course.
athletes.
Of course.
I mean,
Of course. It's amazing that they still managed to get second place.
I might be held a task for that, but I mean, I only speak the truth and based on my level of knowledge in that sport and my background. I think I mean it's an honest I mean statement
No,
that is
certainly,
made
certainly.
here.
So what do you see as the outlook, as the prospect for athletics in Dominica? Say if you were to look out 5 years hence,
Well,
um, are you optimistic? Are you
I am an
kind of?
optimist.
Hmm.
I am an optimist because as I tell persons for the number of years that I've been in it, if I was not I mean a believer that there's light at the other end of the tunnel, I would have been somewhere else. And that's a true statement. But I
Hmm.
feel that I mean athletics has given me a lot and just giving back and seeing the transformation of these young people. because a number of parents have come to me and told me that and thanked me that if it wasn't for what I do in every afternoon with the youngsters, I mean, those kids could have taken up some antisocial behavior with smoking weed or doing something,
Right.
something
Right.
that's out of the way. So, and again, I mean, challenges faced, but I always, as an educator myself, I always try to enforce in the kids the importance of education to combine it with sport, because there are scholarships, athletic scholarships outside of Dominica that, I mean, I am a product of it. And I always tell them that, I mean, two things that we can change, in our body is our muscle and our brain. And for training, and one that's, and no matter where you're from, I mean, you can be from Africa, you can be from, I mean, one of the poorest areas. The human body is made the same way, and
Right.
so your brain and your muscle. Once you can, even yes, we are lacking with certain facilities, but we just train
You
the
can use
body the
that to
right
make
way,
a
and it
strength.
will give you
Yeah.
back. It will give you back what you gave it.
What
It's like a
you give
bank
it. Let me
account.
ask.
You can put in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say that I have you on the show, and it's International Youth Day that we're recommending. Andrea Thomas is saying, if any, what challenges you face with the youth in pursuit of growth and success? I'll let you answer that question before I ask my next question. What challenges you face with the youth in pursuit of growth and success?
Well, in terms of growth and again success, as I said, we have a number of challenges that we face down here. In terms of, I mean, some of there again, some of the kids we have, I mean, the in term encouragement, I mean, coming in from the senior folks, they, a lot of times they don't get that, and tend to feel that, I mean, they are spoken down to, that times that hey, you're wasting your time, you're just blowing up yourself, getting meg, and all this type of, I mean,
Negative vibes, yeah?
cheap talk, negative talk
Right.
comes across. I
So
mean,
what do you do? What do you do to counteract that?
well, in terms of counteracting that, sometimes I say to them that if you look around, I mean, you'll see a lot of persons who might be much more wealthy than you, and look at them. I mean, they're out walking, trying to become like you. I mean,
Right?
yeah, I mean, they're plumb and everything, and they're trying and let them understand that what you're doing is something healthy. It's health.
Right.
You're becoming a healthier human being. Your heart, everything is working much better than those people who are telling you that you're meg. I
And
mean,
your
and
brain works better, for sure.
and so there's a lot of, I mean, I said, I mean, and these negatives, again, you have to be a father figure with those youngsters. I mean, and again, as a coach, you have to be able to handle all these negatives and try to. I think I always try to advocate, because I am also a lecturer for World Athletics, where I train persons to be coaches, and that's something I say to
Okay.
coaches all the time. That in terms of when you're bringing a message across, the criticism aspect of it. Because when I grew up in athletics, I mean, we had a coach that would yell, I mean, top of his voice and say negative things to you. Now, this present time that we're in, you do that and you won't have a team.
Right.
So what I advocate is, my criticism is on one-on-one, quietly. But whenever I admonish, I say it out loud. So you do something wrong, I will call you aside and I will take a walk. Let's take a walk. And we discuss what you did. You did something real positive out there, I will yell it to the top of my voice. That is the kind of thing I want to see. Continue doing that. And so that reinforcement tend to work good with the youngsters.
Very
So
good. Cedric,
this is
I want to ask you something, because we have young people in here, and I want to benefit from the experience that you had when you went to the Olympics in '96. I want you to spend a little bit of time and talk about that feeling, that experience. them young people who are listening, maybe motivated to work a little harder to experience that too. Tell us what it
Oh,
was like to go
okay,
and
well, I
compete
mean,
on the world stage at Olympian.
I can even go back even a little number of years before that,
Mm-hmm.
because in 1986, a gentleman by the name of Bob Furlong, a white gentleman who came to Dominica as, I think, Partners of America, some Peace Corps group. He ventured through, well, the Windsor Park. Heavy Schillingford, most of us, I think, might know that name. He used to be the sports coordinator at the time. Introduced Bob to me, and he saw me run. He saw me running in the gardens. No, sorry, it was in Windsor Park. And he made a statement to me that you have a gift. And he went on to tell me that the Olympic Games, you see yourself run at the Olympic Games. And I laughed and tell him, that's just a dream. I don't think that can happen. Dominica don't go to the Olympic Games. And then he went on saying to me in that same voice, you ever want to go to college overseas and run? I tell him my parents can't afford that at the time. And he told me
Mm-hmm.
then, I do you want to? I can make it happen. And that's where the dream started. I
Wow.
worked along, do what I had to do, and during the years, continued training hard. Even on Carnival Day, when everybody was jumping up, I was training. Person told me I was mad. Well, a young man like you, he said you should be in Roseau jumping up, and you are training. So I followed that dream, and then an opportunity came that I went to Caribbean Games, Texaco Games in Barbados. That's the door that opened where I competed and won the 800 meters.
You won the 800 meters.
I won
Wow.
the 800 meters outside. I mean, and it will be right before that there was you know, the OECS games. So the first time in '87, I went out there. I won the 800 in that was in Grenada on grass. It was at the time, and then the Texas Games came about in Barbados. Had that opportunity. I went in there, and then I won the event again. Met by scouts who came talk to me and told me, look, you got to do this, you got to do that. The SATs were one of the things that you had to take. Came home, struggled through getting the SAT done. We had some challenges to get the exam done that year. So it took me like 2 years, was 3 years after to get that thing set out. So I actually got through that and went to New York Institute of Technology in New
Mm-hmm.
York, Long Island,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and continued training, competing up there for my school and been studying. And as I always tell this person, you have to try and maintain both. It
Oh,
was
mm-hmm.
difficult training in cold weather, not being too used to that kind of thing. But it took me in. I went in 1995. I had an injury, a sustained injury during cross country. Yeah, I messed up my knee. I had to undergo surgery. And right after the surgery, I said, God, that's it. I finished. I told myself I was done. Surgery in my knee, and a couple weeks. I mean, I can barely walk properly, and I'm going to therapy. And then Bob Furlong came back into my life. Well, he was not the coach at the school, but he studied sports psychology, and he came in and started doing some theoretical work with me. He tell me, look, what I can do. And making a long story short, he kind of brought me back in focus of where I had to be.
Mm-hmm.
Get to training and went qualified. That year in '95, I got an opportunity to represent Dominica at the World University Games in Tokyo. We did that. I missed qualifying by a few hundred for a second. Came back to New York. Went to the Empire State Games. I won. Then with that qualification started in. and the rest was, I mean, practically history. I mean, I just, when I got qualified, continued to represent in my school. That summer, well, that spring, I moved, graduated in '96 from my school, and then moved into Bob Furlong home up in Poughkeepsie, New York, where I trained, and he tried converting me into being vegetarian during that time, but it's so that was actually, I mean, it's the dream coming unfolding itself. In Atlanta, got to Atlanta, and then we had the other team members, Don Williams, Stephen Egar, Jerome Romaine,
I remember those. I remember that.
Romaine Joseph, and
The
Woody
Alpha
Lawrence.
Academy that wasn't the Alpha
No,
Academy, no?
Alfia wasn't part of that team.
Okay, no. Okay.
Alfia was, I mean, she was into athletics, but she was not there.
Was
And
not there. Okay.
the makeup of that team, I mean, was kind of peculiar because 5 of the 6 athletes who represented Dominica at the time, we were all based at universities in the United States on
Right.
scholarships. So that says something. That says something. I mean, 20 odd plus years, 26 now, 27. What is that? 26 still now.
You don't have to age yourself. That's okay.
I mean, I mean, expect. I expect to see. I mean, where the development process is concerned in terms of development of facilities in Dominica, we're still at that crossroad. I think by now we
Yeah.
should have. I mean, being part of the IOC and getting.
Right,
I
right, right.
mean,
But I
access
want to
funds.
stay on the positive feeling for a minute, right?
Yes.
Because you know, I really thank you for that story. Because it's motivating to a young person to understand the struggle
Yeah,
and to
and the
understand
process. I
the
mean,
accomplishment, you know, and to see that right at almost at the peak in 95, you have an injury that looks like it's going to end your career in 95. And in 96, you qualify for the Olympics, you know. That grit and that perseverance, I think, is something that needs to be dwelled
yeah,
upon. And I thank you for all of that, because
yeah, on the
you
squad. I
guys
mean,
made us
because
really proud. I remember the Olympics, that 96. So thank you for that.
yes, yes, welcome.
Yeah. And you're
And
still at it. You still have your nose to the
well, yes,
wheel
I
and you're grinding
still, I
on.
mean,
Yeah.
motivate, coach as best
Mhm.
as I can. I mean, bring athletes to very promising levels. I mean, and try to be the channel of trying to get them out of Dominica to
No,
further
certainly.
careers. Because I
Certainly.
think, I mean,
Certainly.
we have to give back. The only way,
Right.
if it's about taking, and we have to give back at some point. I think I've been giving back, and one thing I did not mention. I've said to a
Mhm.
few of my athletes, and I can share it openly. In during '96, I can recall in the kitchen of the coach Bob Furlong, when I was getting prepared to leave to go up to Atlanta. I said, Coach, what can I do? What can I ever do to pay you back? Because you helped. You are the reason I think that I am here. Tell me, no, you did your part. I said, I did my part, but you are the reason. And he said to me something, and it brought tears to my eye. And I can even repeat it. He said, Cedric, when you're done, I want you to go home and do what I did for your people. I want you to go
Wow.
back. What I did for you, I want you to do it for your people. Do the same. And a number of challenges I've gotten, I mean, negative challenges, and I think that's what kept me going. Because to every light bulb, you need a negative charge, a negative polarity, and I make that keep me going. And once I see those youngsters, that smile on their face when they win that little medal, when they see they do a personal best performance, I said growth is, that's it. It's a process, and just stick with it. You will get better at it, and that's I mean that's all I can actually give. And I mean, it just give myself back
Right.
to them.
Right. And you've been doing that. So thank you for that. Jackie, I'm going to come back to you and Andrea. Andrea, thank you for staying with us. I thought you were lost by now. Um, he's stuck in athletics, but it could apply to music, it could apply to any area where it's the young person is striving and facing challenges and have to work past it. And so I hear Cedric talk about the same issue that you speak about, that there are so many things distracting and competing for young people's attention that it's difficult to get them to focus on practice. The attention span is shorter and all of that. Talk to the young people who are listening. Invite them to come play music, come play steel band. Tell them about the benefits of being involved in a program like music, like athletics, like any type of activity that develops them beyond sitting down in a classroom learning from a book or playing video games. Just talk to the young people who are listening. Your mic is muted, Jackie. I think she might be frozen. Jackie,
Andrea. Oh, I
there
thought
you go.
Andrea was. Sorry, I thought Andrea was
No,
speaking.
no.
Yes.
I'll make
So
Andrea speak next.
yes. So you know, um, music, and I say music because it's not only because when you play steel pan, you also learn the music.
Music,
It
right?
it offers so many opportunities, and you know. Um, there's this thing that music education really helps you. You do math in music education. You read. It helps you to as I said to develop your own. It's a form of discipline as well because you have to practice. You have to if you're doing a performance, you have to be there on time. You have to be organized. So it helps you not only in your youthful days, but as you mature and you go along, it also helps you to be organized, you know. And I know there and I know there are lots of challenges, and but the other important thing too, we shouldn't be only talking to the young ones. We also have to talk to their parents too, because some of their parents, the first thing that they get their kids off, it's the music, the art, or the sports. Whenever there's what you call it, when they're in school, exams or something like that, but they don't realize that these things help you to be to be better organized. And so first we really have to also send a message to the parents, and to tell the younger ones to explain to their parents what music is doing for them, you know, and even sports, huh? And uh, and to help them to see the benefits, and they should also look at other youngsters who've gone through the program and have done so well. And I think that would be a sort of motivation. But I believe music education has done a lot for me. It has done a lot for many of my peers and many of my the kids that I worked with during the last couple of years, during the steel band program. A lot of them have gone on. Most of the kids that were in my band, from high school, they're out in some part of the world, either studying or have finished studying and doing something with their life. So you know, I
And
see.
it's not by accident. It's
No, it's not by
definitely
accident.
definitely.
It's no, no.
Yeah. So what did you think about the performance by John Kerry Duke, the young man who entertained us with his production?
I thought it was good. It's it's one thing I must say. It's not really my kind of music, but it was nice. I mean, it was nicely done. Um, I'm more sorry. I'm more into the older thing, classic jazz, and that kind of thing. So, but I think he presented it very well.
Awesome.
Because and that's the problem we're having too. He's able to bring it out to the to the younger generation really well.
Exactly. Mhm.
And you also need to attract them to this, so you have to play that kind of music. The one problem is, as my dad would say, they do not have timing when they get into this boop 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 kind of music, and
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah. But you have to also teach them how to do it well, because
Mm-hmm.
you can arrange it nicely so they can appreciate it, and I think he did it well.
Definitely, you have to meet them where they are.
Yes.
Andrea, Planet Harmony has a junior band, and I understand you're the principal of that junior band. No, but you're the one who has the primary responsibility for training them. If I misunderstood you, correct me. But what is like? What do you see the growth and development in young kids as they progress through your program and getting the skills, not only in steel band but as a young developing person?
Most definitely. And I have to say a huge thank you to other members of the band Pan in Harmony who
Hmm.
help out with the junior band. They as well see potential in the young people, and they want to make sure they get all the help that they can so that they can progress in this art form. I believe music is very important, sports as well, to young people, because it helps them realize there is a life and there is a world outside of academics. There is a heavy emphasis on the math, the science, accounting, and the classroom subjects, but children and parents especially need to realize that there are fields of work, employment opportunity, financial benefit towards becoming an athlete or a musician. So I feel, to support Jackie's point, parents need to come on board as well, because they are quick to pull the child out of an extracurricular class if it's not the academic. But children who are interested, I feel they should be further supported, and I'm happy that we have the junior band because it shows that they are interested. I even had one of them ask if we could have extra classes during the summer, and I was very
Oh, wow.
surprised. So I'm happy that they
Hmm.
enjoy it. And I know when school comes on board, they're going to have less time because then they'll be swamped with exams and even like intra school competitions and whatnot. So I believe music and athletics, sports on a whole, they are good avenues for our children. They help them develop physically, mentally, emotionally, to help with the social skills, and they're just a multitude of benefits towards being involved in either or. So I am encouraging all children to get involved in a sporting activity or two, a musical instrument or two or three, make pan one of them, I wouldn't say no, and to
Hmm.
ask the parents and adults to support. So it's not just parents, but even the grandparents can come on board, the uncles, the aunts, the neighbors, the guardians, just support the children and encourage them to go into one of these avenues or both. It's only beneficial to them. It helps with mathematics, it helps with time management, helps with discipline. It just helps them become a more rounded individual, which is what we need more of in society. So I'd encourage anyone, everyone to get involved in music and sports.
And it expands their interest.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
Cedric, yeah, Cedric, if folks are interested in getting in touch with you in your role as a coach, interested in joining the Pioneers Athletics Club, how do they reach you?
Is it okay to give my number here?
Any whatever contact information you have, of course, or
Yes,
you can, yeah.
I can be reached at 616 and
Hmm.
616-4255.
Right.
Also, we have an email. It's Pioneers Athletics Club
Hmm.
at gmail.com.
Okay. Do you guys have like a regular practice where you all meet on a
Yes,
particular day and practice?
we are based in Roseau, and we train at
Hmm.
the gardens. Now
Okay.
during the summer month, we actually have two sessions on. So we go from 11 Monday to Saturday, and also on weekdays we have two sessions on weekdays. So we have 11 and at 4, 11 and 4, Monday to Friday. Saturdays only we do 11.
11. So somebody who's interested can just show up at that time and talk to you and get the details from you guys.
Yes, I would be there, and Secretary Nisa Joseph is the one who know.
Hmm.
We also on Facebook. She's the one actually managing the Facebook page,
Okay.
and but we are there. I am the one doing the coaching, but
Hmm.
support Nisa is there, and a few other parents normally come around and be around
Okay.
while training is going on. It's very
So there
important
you have
when
it.
parents are
Hmm.
in part of
Right.
the process. And actually, my executive is made up of parents, so
That's good.
I
That's
just
good. Is there a particular age group, a maximum age, a minimum age?
ah age. Well, the youngest member right now we have is at is at 6 years
Oh
old.
wow.
That's the
Hmm.
youngest member. You see, when we go in the
Oh,
region, Martinique and Martinique, for example, there's competitions catered for that young.
oh wow. Okay.
So so the athletes get exposed at that age, and you can imagine
Start them early. Hmm.
moving up the ranks. Then by the time
Professionally.
they're 11, 12, they start at 6. They already have six
Okay.
years
Yeah.
of grooming into
Hmm.
them.
Hmm. Right.
On the
So
local scene, I mean, there are number of we also organize local competitions as a club. So
right.
we every year we have the Fox Mile and we have the Bry Park Memorial. Bry Park is a
What time of
memorial
the
run
year
one
those?
for our members.
Uh,
Sorry.
what time of the year are those events?
Um, well, this year the Fox Mile is going to be in September. We actually had it planned for 2 weekends down the line, but because again of null stall in all activities, so you have more number of the athletes
Hmm.
outside of us, our club, not actively involved in training. So why put a competition around most of the athletes are out of shape? So we
All the
move it
shape.
into
And to
September when we're
participate
gonna have
without tripping, to participate, do you have to be
but
a member of Pioneers,
no,
or is
it's
it
open.
open? It's open.
It's
Okay.
open.
Hmm.
So we have that, and we have again Bry Park Memorial. Bry Park
Hmm.
is a member of ours who died in 2016, and we have this event every year in memorial of him.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
we do that, and we're
Wow.
gonna have that one in later down in October.
In October. Okay.
In October,
The folks can go on your Facebook page, get more information about Pioneers
more
Club.
information
They
of
they can show up at the Botanical Gardens at 11 a.m. or 4 p.m.
yeah,
They can
and
call you at 616-4255 and
correct.
join Pioneers Club.
Also, let me also share the GenSec number is
Hmm.
61614
Hmm.
2830, and the name is
Hmm.
Nisa Joseph.
Okay, awesome. Cedric, any closing remarks? Because I'm
Yes,
indulging you guys for almost an extra half hour already.
I just want to thank you for giving me that opportunity to come out here and share with the listening public, because I know persons not only from Dominica but Canada, United States, maybe all
Yeah,
Europe
we have
is listening
listeners all over. Yeah.
all over the world. So I'm saying thanks that I'm here today, well, this evening, sharing what I do with the youngsters of Dominica. And we're always in need of support. I mean, one way or the other, because of, I mean, as you know, developing, we are still in a developing stage in the Dominica. And even to travel around, take the kids out of Dominica, and all, that money comes in, and we don't have a quote unquote a sponsor. We're not sponsored by
Hmm.
anybody, so we do our fundraisers. So just want to say that look, everything that we do, we post. So there'll be times that we may come out and reach out, want to know that we are a bona fide member, and we do something good for society. We're not those that just show up whenever we feel that we need something. We are there providing a service to, again, society and the country, because our athletes represent Dominica at the national level as well. So they're not only within the group, they branch out, they represent Dominica at the regional level. I mean, in international, we have a few of them who are now based out in North America, because again of their involvement where they started their athletic journey in Pioneers in Dominica a number of years ago. So I want to say thanks
Right.
again, thanks for the opportunity, and I
You're
will
very,
continue my first time, and I would
mhm.
think I'll continue trying to follow your program
Yeah,
as
you,
a.
you're very welcome, man, and thank you for that. You're very, very welcome. And folks, you hear it. If you want to support, I encourage you to support what pioneers are doing, what Cedric is doing. Reach out to him. His phone number is 616-4255. 767 is the area code. 616-4255. Um, Offer to help. I'm sure there are athletes who need shoes, who need training gear. You can, and we're in the US, you can always send a pair down, get some sizes from him. There may be an athlete who is good and who maybe needs a new pair of shoes. Um, get the information, help out. It might be something simple for you. It might mean a lot to the athlete. Done it if you can, because they take their athletes overseas. Like an expensive venture to take athletes. You have to get transportation, accommodation, training, food, and all of those things. Athletes get hurt, so there may be some cost in there for medical. So reach out and see how you can support. Cedric, you're very welcome. So open invitation to come back. Even if it's not for the whole hour, if there's something going on, I can give you a 10 minutes on the program, no matter what guest I have. Let's stay. You say you have to show somebody something 3 and 4 times before they buy. So let's keep it in their attention, so that we can encourage them to support. Okay, Devon is saying good night. Um, so I thank you, Cedric, for what you continue to do, and I wish you all the best. Andrea, you said you mightn't stay for the whole hour. I'm so happy we were able
Um,
to
for an
enchant
hour,
you to
and what's
stay.
it, 20? Yeah.
Oh,
For the love of
oh
fun.
yeah.
Yes,
You
I'm
know,
here.
Closing remarks. It was good having you. And what do you want to say to the young folks? Those are in your band, those aspiring to your band, those you want to convince to come check you guys out.
Alrighty, so to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. Those who are interested in playing steel band, there are classes available. You can check out the Old Mill Cultural Center. They have deeper classes. We start in September, and we plan in harmony. We have our practices throughout the year. We have on Tuesdays and Saturdays and Wednesday for the junior band. But we encourage you to just express interest. You can show up, you can ask questions, you can say, hey, this has caught my attention, and we will talk to you, we will guide you, we will help you. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us. We have our email address. You can reach us paninharmonyda@gmail.com. Drop us an email.
Say
Show
that
your
again
interest.
slower, please.
Apologies. paninharmonyda@gmail.com. Drop
Awesome.
us a message, we'll get back to you. Visit us at the Panyard, check out the Old Mill. There are classes for beginners. You can start from scratch if you'd like, and you can see what is there for you. Pan is an amazing instrument. It opens doors, it introduces to people all over the world, literally. Some of us travel to play pan in other countries. That could be you as well, but express interest. Pan music on a whole, there's so many benefits as with athletics and sports in general. So just feel free to express yourself, express your interest. It may be difficult at times, but stick with it and it will take you places. So thank you again for the invitation. Thank you to the viewers and listeners for tuning in. And we look forward to hearing from you and, of course, being back on this program to promote PAN. Oh, and in advance, happy World Steel Pan Day.
Awesome. Awesome. Happy World Children's Day to you as well. And thank you for making the time to come and for deciding to stay. Whatever else you had to do was not as important. So thank you for that for making that choice. I leave it at that. It might not be that, but that's what I'm going to
Well,
assume
circumstances beyond my control, but yes. But
it was a pleasure having you.
thank
Jackie,
you.
you've been carrying the torch, or the baton, that your dad seemed to have handed to you without you probably even realizing that he was handing it to you. So you've been at this for a minute and you continue to keep the fire burning, and we appreciate that. And so thank you for taking the time to come on. Um, Again, congratulations on the achievement of Pan in Harmony and for the declaration of World Pan Day. I invite you now to the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you. I thank you for having us on your program. I just want to say a huge thank you. While yes, I'm probably the organizer trying to get this thing going on, carrying the baton. But I have to thank the group that I'm working with, the Pan in Harmony group. They're an awesome group, and they too came, youngsters who started playing young and have really developed a really deep interest in steel pan, and they've become really fine, excellent, talented musicians, and are willing to pass on their experiences with other young persons. And I want to shout out to all of them. I don't want to leave any one of them out, but to the arrangers, oh my God, Dighton Bollier, who was with us from a very young age, to Pius John Baptist, Dan Pius John Baptist, oh my God, who really, um, after my dad passed, he was the one who really worked with me so that we could get the band going. Um, Recently, Vanandra Christian, who joined us. Well, in fact, she's an arranger and probably teaching music because of Pan in Harmony. Um, so I want to shout out to her, and a huge shout out to Chad Zamo, who's also, well, my dad also taught him, and he's really passing on his skills. He teaches the DIFA program along with Vanandra Christian. Um, Andrea, I mean, I know she's right here, but I mean, she's such great support. And Drago, remember, I said to you that she's my little reminder. I just want to thank her for, because I really cannot do it alone. Everything, I shouldn't be taking all the credit for that. It's a bit of a team effort. Yes, sometimes I do too much, but I just want to thank them for devoting their time and their talent in promoting something that means so much, not only to me but to many people, and to assist the younger generation. Thank you to the other members of the band. That the younger ones who were with me in Breezy's band, they've really done a great job, because we are. I mean, for those who do not know, Pan in Harmony is the only um, steel band. I mean, the one that's really what you call it? It's existing steel band that's playing, bringing music to the community or to all the events those days. And we hope it's not going to stay that way, and we hope we can get it through the entire communities in Dominica. Thank you again for all your support, for supporting us on our recent pan concert. And I want to say a big thank you to those in the US who supported the Cancer Society, that the charity work that we've been doing, and we donated some monies to their cause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Jago, and your team for hosting us.
Thank you so much for coming. Andrea, you're still with us. Tell us the four
Um,
schools again. Tell us the four schools again that the PAN
this
initiative is at.
Right. So the schools we visited were the Castlebrooke Secondary School, Ben's
Yeah.
Primary, Savonpie Primary, and St. Martin Secondary School. We have two videos posted on YouTube that you can check out to get a better idea of what's going on with that program. And feel free to help us reach our goal of purchasing pans to supply to the schools. You can always donate. You can extend to us suggestions, recommendations on who or what organization we can approach to ask for funding to support our cause, because pans are not cheap, and we would like to see the steel pan movement really get moving in Dominica, but we need the pans to do so. So we'd appreciate any assistance we can get, financial or otherwise. If you want to donate pans, that's also an option. We don't say no, but you just reach out to us, and we would love to hear from you, and any suggestions you may have on how to really develop the steel pan culture in Dominica or move it forward, because the more ideas we have, the better. The more options we have, the better. And it takes all of us to get this thing going.
Thank you so much. And folks, you heard it. If your child happen to be going to a school where they're replacing the pan, take the pans that they're getting rid of. We need them in Dominica. And if that's not the case, then you can donate $100, $50, whatever it is, to the cause. um, that initiative of trying to get steel band in the schools. Can you imagine if we, in 4 or 5 years' time, Dominica is at a point where we have inter-school band competition and we have thriving bands in multiple schools, both secondary and primary, and our kids are competing. That's an awesome vision. I think that if all of us pull together, we can realize that vision much easier than what it's looking right now. So Andrea and Jackie, thank you for that. Cedric as well, thank you for what you continue to do. We're looking for more Olympians from Dominica at the next game, and just to follow in that footstep. The name of your club is Pioneers, and you pioneered that. So let's keep it
Yes,
going.
thank you again, man, for having
Yeah,
us.
and to John Kerry, I know he disappeared, but very great. Thank you to you for your entertainment, your production, and Jackie said it's connected to young people, which is what it is. It's International um, Youth Day, and you've demonstrated that you can take contemporary genres and contemporary music and arrange it with the arrangement so it can be played on the steel band. And to all young people of Dominica, of the Caribbean, of the world, happy International Youth Day. I want to make a special mention. I looked at Dominica had parliament, and there are some fresh young faces in parliament in Dominica. And they give very good representation of themselves. Whether you are in full support of what they said or otherwise, just the courage that they displayed, their comportment, uh, the way they're able to express their ideas was really refreshing. And so, congratulations, young people! You're starting to step up and take the reins from us older folks. We welcome you, and I encourage folks like me who are a little bit older to be willing to hand it over to the young people, not necessarily to go aside, but hand it to them and just provide resources and facilities so that they can take over, because the future that we're building is for them. So the sooner that they can take it, they can shape it however they want, however they desire. So congratulations to young people who were represented here tonight on your achievements in music, in athletics, and all the areas in which you're striving. I know when I was in school, I was involved in organization, 4-H club in primary school, Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme in secondary school, JC's as a young professional. And to me, the education in those involvement maybe surpass the academic education. And similarly, I'm sure athletes and musicians might have the same story. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Special thank you to my guests. I indulge you quite a bit, but you always stay with me, and I always get some positive feedback. This has been another program of This Week in Interview, and tonight we marked International Youth Day. We shouted out to the panists among us and congratulated them on the recognition by the United Nations of World Steel Pan Day. And go out, have a blast on the 12th for recognizing young people. Listen to some pan music on Friday the 11th for World Pan Day. Good night, folks. I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Special good night to our producer, Sam. Couldn't be with us tonight. Hope everything is okay. And of course, DJ Kaza, who always steps in whenever we ask him. Thank you so much. Our folks did not even realize that Sam wasn't there. That's how much of an excellent job that you did. So thank you tonight for that. Good evening, folks. And I'll see you again next week, Wednesday, for another episode of This Week in Interview, a TVN Media Network production. Good night.